But he won't be in Golden State next year. But yeah, back to the Kings. I'm gonna brag about myself a little bit, right? Because I put out a list of my first, second, and third team All NBA, right?
Oh shit, here we go.
Right, and I had De'Aaron Fox before the playoffs started. I had De'Aaron Fox on my first team as a guard, and I told everybody, I said, look, everybody called me and was like, man, you tripping, man? Like, how is De'Aaron Fox first team? I was like, look, he led a team to the number 1 offense in the league, number 3 in the West overall and record wise, made the playoffs, all right, and he played elite offense, elite defense, and he just won the Clutch Player of the Year, the first ever Clutch Player of the Year award sent out. He has the most points in the clutch in the league this year, right? He's an assassin in the fourth quarter. He fears nothing, and he plays both ends, and his team is successful. I don't know how you put any other point guard, like it's close to put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander there, but his team was not as successful as Sacramento was. Number 1 offense in the league, and you finished number 3 overall in the West. That's success. De'Aaron Fox got all of it, and now that everyone is able to see him on a big stage in the playoffs, they can see what I saw 2-3 weeks ago when I picked him first team on my All NBA. Right.
Well, you did better than me. I definitely didn't. I don't know that much, but the Kings ain't been there so long, man. I ain't even looked. I looked past them like, oh man, yeah, it's probably gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even think I was really looking forward to looking at that game. But then I started looking at the game, and I'm like, man, when they won game 1, I was like, okay, I kind of figured they'd get 1. But when they got 2, and the way they was playing, bro, especially that last couple minutes, I was like, oh man. One thing I can say is that I don't think we've seen the Kings play that kind of defense either. They ball. They have about 8 steals.
Yeah.
Game first started.
Yeah, but that's because Mike Brown is a genius on defense. You see how they doing. This is what they're doing on defense. They're using Fox. They're using Davion Mitchell, which got one of the best nicknames in the NBA, man. That man nickname is Off Night because his defense so good. Whoever he guarding having an off night that night. That man nickname is Off Night, man. You got Davion Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, both great defenders, and then Malik Monk, who's not a great defender, but he's fast enough to to play defense if he wants to. Right. They got all 3 of them taking turns pressing Steph Curry full court. And that's doing 2 things. One, that's making Steph Curry work hard just to get cross half court.
Right.
And Steph Curry like to run through all those screens and make his man tired. But now we're gonna make you tired too. If you want to run across all those screens, you go do it after we press you
being physical with Steph. Steph, they knocking Steph down to the ground.
And they being physical, right?
Yeah, they putting bodies on him, and the refs ain't calling it like that either.
They not. I think that's gonna change in this series because they seen a player get hurt and probably miss a game, and they seen a player that gonna stomp somebody in the sternum. They gonna stop all that physical stuff. All right, they gonna put a stop to it. I just seen it in the Phoenix game. You know what I really think happened now that I'm thinking about it? I think, and Charles Barkley said this after the game. He said, and this is before we found out that Sabonis is questionable with bruised sternum. Charles Barkley said, what do you think happened? Because they reported earlier that Draymond wasn't going to get suspended, and then they changed it. I think that they talked to Sacramento, and Sacramento let them know, look, man, we just got a second opinion or a second X-ray, and his sternum is bruised. he might not even play game 3, right? And then they thought about this. Was like, dang, this dude stomped him in his chest. He about to miss game 3. That's gonna look real bad on the NBA if he miss it and Draymond Green is playing. So they turned around and went on to suspended Draymond Green, but they didn't stop there because every team in the playoffs have been allowing the hand guard and the rough physical play and all that stuff, and it's been keeping the games close and interesting. But players are falling all over the floor and players are getting hurt. I think the commissioner called the head official in the Phoenix game tonight and told them, change the way y'all calling the game, man. We got to clean it up. No more of that crazy over physical stuff. Change it. and they came out in the second half and they was calling a totally different game against the Clippers and Suns. And once the Clippers couldn't hand guard the Suns no more, the Suns